I'm sorry, I'm doing all over again, but it's over. I'm just getting live broadcasting. Okay. Can you now hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Om Agnan Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshar Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatari. Right, let us start with the 5th canto, 6th chapter, verse number 2. Can you hear me clearly and see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Okay, right. Now let's start with it. Let's not waste time in prayers now. Who wants to recite this verse? Subhara Prabhuji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Nothing is that is not come in the screen, Prabhuji Shloka.
Is not coming on the screen?
No, it's only prayer is there.
Oh, I see. Okay. I have to do something. You still have a prayer.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. We'll get the sloka.
Yes,
Got the
okay.
sloka now?
Yes,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Yes,
Yes.
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Go ahead, Prabhu.
ऋषिरुवाच ऋषिरुवाच सत्यमुक्तं किन्त्विहा वा एकेन मनसोद्धा विश्रम्भमनवस्थानस्य सठकिरात इव संगच्छन्ते. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Madhumahi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Rushir Uvacha Satyam Uktam Kintu Iha Va Yekena Manasaha Adda Vishrambham Anavastanasya Shatha Kirata Iva Sangachante. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Chitra Mohini Devidasi.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ऋषिरुवाच सत्यमुक्तं किं त्विह वा एकेन मनसो अद्ध विश्रम्भम् अनवास्तानस्य शठ किराता इव संगच्छन्ते. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. थैंक यू प्रभु
Thank
जी.
you. Vijaya Kumari Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी. ऋषि उवाच सत्यं वक्तं कृत्वा इह वा येगेन मानसो अत्थ विश्रम्भम् अनवस्थानस्य षडक्राद इव संगच्छति. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी.
Thank you. Prafula Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ऋषिरुवाच सत्यम उक्तम किंतु ईथवाक् एकेन मनसो अद्धं विश्रवम् अनवस्थनस्य सठ किरात इव संगच्छन्ते। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। थैंक यू प्रभु।
Anjali Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Anjali Mataji. Hare Krishna. Unmute yourself.
हरे
Okay.
कृष्ण। ऋषिर उवाच सत्यम् उक्तं किन्तु इह वा एकेन मनसः अध्या विश्रम्भम अनवस्थानस्य शठक्र इव संगच्छन्ते। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you. Revati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी. ऋषि उवाच सद्यमुक्तं किन्तवैह वायेकेन मनसो अद्दा विश्वरम्भम् अनुवस्थानस्य शतकृतो इव संगचन्ते. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you. Venkat Narsiya Rao. Narsiya Das Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna.
सत्यमुक्तं किन्द्र वायेकेन मनसोद्धा मिश्रम मनस मन मनवस्थानस्य शठकिरात इव संयच्छते. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you. Anyone left out? Okay. Subbarao Prabhuji, can you read synonyms for us?
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Synonyms. Rishi Uvacha, Sukadeva Goswami said, Satyam, the correct thing. Uktam, have said, Kintu, but. Iha, in this material world. Va, either. Eke, some. Na, not. Manasaha, of the mind. Atha, directly. Vishambham, faithful. Anavasthanasya, being unsteady. Shatha, very cunning. Kirata, a hunter. Iva, like. Sangachante, become. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Subbarao Prabhuji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Sukadeva Goswami replied, My dear king, you have spoken correctly. However, after capturing animals, a cunning hunter does not put faith in them, for they might run away. Similarly, those who are advanced in spiritual life do not put faith in the mind. Indeed, they always remain vigilant and watch the mind's action. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In Bhagavad Gita 18.5, Lord Krishna says, Yagna dhyana tapa karma na tajyanti karyam yevatat yagna damam tapaska chaiva pravanani manisidam. Act of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up, but should be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. Even one who has renounced the world and has taken sannyasa should not renounce chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Renunciation does not mean that one has to renounce some kirtana yagna. Similarly, one should not renounce charity or tapasya. The yoga system for control of the mind and senses must be strictly followed. Lord Rishabhadeva showed how severe types of tapasya could be performed, and he set an example for all others. Let us go and take the second verse as well. Who would like to recite this verse? Go ahead, Subbarao Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
तथा चोक्तम् न कुर्यात् कर्हिचित् सख्यम् मनसि ह्यनवस्थिते यद्विश्रम्भाच्छिराच्छिन्नम् च स्कन्दतप ऐश्वरम्. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Revati Mataji. You are muted, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Tato shoktam न कुर्याति गर्हिषत् सख्यं मनसि हि अनस्वत्रितः यद्विसरं बिम्बाचिराचीर्णं संकत्तनव ऐश्वरम. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madhumayi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Tatha choktam न कुर्यात् कर्हिचित् सत्यं मनसि हि अनवस्थिते यद्विश्रम्भात् चिराचीर्णं च स्कन्दातप ईश्वरम्. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Chitra Mohini Devidasi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Tata chuttam na kuryat karhichit sakyam manasi hanvastite yad vishrambha chirachirnam chaskanda tapa aishwaram. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Phula Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी तथा चोक्तम न कुर्यात् कर्हिचित् सख्यं मनसि हि अनवस्थिते यद्विश्रम्भा चिराचीर्णं च स्कन्दतपस्यैश्वरम्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु. थैंक यू प्रभु.
Thank you. Madhusoni Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. तथा च उक्तम् न कुर्यात् कैर्चित् सख्यं मनसि हि अनवस्थिते यत विश्रम्भात् चिरात् चीर्णं च स्कन्दतपः ऐश्वर्यम्. थैंक यू प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you. Usha Bhaskaran Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Tata choktam na kuryat karhichit sakyam manasi hai anavastita yat vishramba chirachirnam skanda tapa aishwaram. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Anjali Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण. तथा च उक्तम न कुर्यात् कर्हिचित् सख्यं हि अनवस्थिते यत् विश्रम्भात् चिराचिरणं तस्कन्दतप ऐश्वर्यम्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Thank you. Chitra Mohini Devidasi ji. Could you read synonyms for us? Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Tata. Hare Krishna. Tata, so, cha, and utkam, it is said. Na, never. Kuryat, kurya should do. Karchit. 1 minute, Prabhuji. Karchit, at any time or with anyone. Sakyam, friendship. Manasi, in the mind. He certainly anavastite, which is very restless, yet in which Vishrambhat, from placing too much faith, Chirat, for a long time, Chirnam, practiced, Chaskandha, became disturbed, Tapaha, the austerity, Aishwaryam, of great personalities like Lord Shiva, and the great sage Saubhari. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Chitramohini Devidasi. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the learned scholars have given their opinion. The mind is by nature very restless, and one should not make friends with it. If we place full confidence in the mind, it may cheat us at any moment. Even Lord Shiva became agitated upon seeing the Mohini form of Lord Krishna, and Saubhari Muni, who also fell down from the mature stage of yogic perfection. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The first business of one trying to advance in spiritual life is to control the mind and senses. As Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15.7, Mamaivasmo jiva loke jiva bhukta santanaha manaha sustha nindriyani prakruti sthani karsati. Although the living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and are therefore in a transcendental position, they are still suffering in this material world and struggling for existence due to the mind and the senses. To get out of this false struggle for existence and become happy in material world, one has to control the mind and senses and be detached from the material condition. One should never neglect austerities and penances. One should always perform them. Lord Rishabhdeva personally showed us how to do this. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 9.19.17, it is specifically stated, Matra swasra duhitra va navivikra samo vavira balvana indriya grano vidvam sam api karsati. Agrahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi, and Brahmachari should be very careful when associating with women. One is forbidden to sit down in a solitary place, even with one's mother, sister, and daughter. In our Krishna conscious movement, it has been very difficult to dissociate ourselves from women in our society, especially in Western countries. We are therefore sometimes criticized, but nonetheless, we are trying to give everyone a chance chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and thus advance spiritually. If we stick to the principles of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly, then by the grace of Srila Haridas Thakur, we may be saved from the allurement of women. However, if we are not very strict in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we may at any time fall victim to be man. If we look at these two verses, they have combined together to tell us about the mind. We all know mind could be a very good friend and could be the worst enemy. The control of mind is very much needed, and that must be done as a first and the foremost thing while we involve ourselves on a spiritual path. Spiritual path is such that there will be many areas which would be gray areas, and a neophyte can easily fall victim to these gray areas. If neophyte doesn't fall himself, there are people in material world which will force you to see the gray area and fall down. And that's why control of mind is very necessary. If you must have seen the His Grace Damanista Das Prabhuji takes special sessions, 4 or 5 sessions, on the control of mind. The control of mind has to be achieved with a strict discipline and has to be diverted from a wrong direction on a right path by changing the channels of thinking, feeling, and willing. This mind is notorious because it's full of activities. It's considered to be one of the most restless organ in human body. It cannot sit quiet even for a second. When you are sleeping, your mind is still active. When you are awake, the mind has to be active. The best way to control mind is to control and discipline your physical being, and that would put a pressure to have control over the mind. If you have a control over the mind, you will gradually have a great control over your thinking. And we all know thinking is the root cause of all issues. Thinking actually makes you to do things. So whatever you think, that's what you do. And whatever you keep doing, it makes your habit. And the habit that forms makes your character. And ultimately, character makes you happy or sad. So mind is very, very important to control. If mind is not controlled, it will make you so agitated and restless. It will fall at almost every drop of the way, every step of the way, and every drop of a hat. That life would be very, very difficult, inorganized, and undisciplined. There are always attractions in material life, and all these attractions create desire in our life. They are all attractions till you do not know what is knowledge and what is ignorance. So attractions remain as attractions until your ignorance goes away. The ignorance or darkness certainly leads you to all the attractions in this beautiful world. These attractions ultimately create desires, and desires lead to an endeavors which is aiming at sense gratification. One of the greatest attraction always has been and always will be, and shall be is women. If we really look at it, half of the population is women. And so, even if it is attraction, one must learn to avoid the attraction and convert the attraction into something more fruitful, more beautiful. You cannot shun half of the population away from your sight in this world. Even if we try to do it, it's like controlling our desires by compressing it so hard that it doesn't come out. As we discussed earlier, if we do such things, then we actually create a spring action. And when the pressure has reduced or disappears, it jumps up. Revati Mataji, you have raised your hand. Anything you want to say?
Sorry, Prabhuji.
No, no problem. No problem. And so, compressing or suppressing does not really work very well. It has never worked anywhere in the world. And why should it work with us? The best way is to control and discipline yourself that those things do not remain as attractions, or divert your activities in such a way, as we say, that if we do some action and that action is for our own gratification, it generates reaction. And this reaction is plus and minus, and that creates an account, and we never make an account zero. And that's why we keep taking birth and dying. Similarly, once the action is done, and if it is done for Lord Krishna, the same action becomes action without any reaction. And that is the key point to understand and learn the rest of the activities in the life. If we look at the revolutionary thinking of Srila Prabhupada has created an exception in the world of man, where all the spiritual activities were only meant and done for man. If half of our population is women, certainly they must have enough opportunity to walk on the path of spirituality, because it is ultimately the same soul, Sat Chit Anand, that man and women have. So men and women must have an equal right in the spiritual advancement. And that's why Srila Prabhupada created Krishna conscious movement, where women are allowed to participate in all spiritual endeavors, including Mahamantra, including Sankirtana, and women are also given initiation. Once they are given initiation, they also become preacher, and they also become priest of the temple. This is a real revolution, and it really takes care of entire human beings, not just manly world. It's an exceptional thinking, revolutionary action, but is working very, very well. Srila Prabhupada here mentions that if you continue doing your bhakti, if you continue your chanting very well, with the help of Namacharya, Haridas Thakur, we all will be protected from each other and certainly will have a very mutually beneficial relationship. So rather than getting afraid of something and removing that thing from our life, getting ourselves entangled into a kind of a kala kotri, be bold enough to change yourself, change your pattern of attractions, control your mind, and then nothing becomes an issue. The revolution that Srila Prabhupada created is allowing women to enter into spiritual sphere. They have always been in spiritual sphere. And if you really look at it, you look at our sastras and the pattern of gods, there are so many devis. And as sarcastically told by one of the comedians, all the best portfolios are with women. Look at the education, Ma Saraswati, the wealth or finances, Ma Lakshmi, so on and so forth. And what is left out to man is virtually a flimsy portfolio of spots. So women have been emancipated and looked forward to as devis in quite a lot of literature, which Srila Prabhupada has taken into consideration and made way for them to enter into spiritual realm. Not only to enter, but to get initiated, become a preacher, become a priest, and run the temples and many other activities in the spiritual sphere. Mind you, I said earlier, all our temples are actually big universities, and all the saints and sages sitting in that temple or visiting that temple are all professors. And we can go to them and clear all our doubts that we have. We can associate with them and learn so many things simply by walking on their footsteps. These universities are great places of learning how to live life and how to live life. That means how you remain in this world happy and how you remain happy while you leave this world. As Prabhupada has always said, the final test all of us we are going to face is the time of death. And if we are happy, if we are not fearful, and if we know that we are going back to God, that feeling is very important. That means you are living this world very happy, not with suffering. Message given by Srila Prabhupada is in these two verses explained very well is the control of mind. And control of mind is switched over to women in society, women in our Krishna conscious movement, and how beautifully you see all of them working together to go back to Godhead. Very revolutionary thinking, very important for the present time, and should each one in the society get the equal chance rather than partiality. This very, very important message Srila Prabhupada has passed. Any question, any revelation, any addition? I apologize for the mess I created in the beginning. I don't know how I did it. But one thing I have learned, whenever you do a Zoom meeting, any issue, detach yourself, disconnect and reconnect. Prafulla Mataji. Yes, go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna has asked Krishna in the 6:34 that Chanchala hi mana Krishna. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramathi balavadrunam tasyaham nigraham manne vayoriva suduskram. So for us, if Arjuna was thinking that, then for us, what is there, Prabhuji? Always mind is so much restless. Whatever we are doing, maybe we are thinking of, if we are thinking of Krishna also, chanting also, we are thinking other things in the mind. So Krishna said that we have to control our mind. If we are controlling our mind and we are diverting our mind for thinking of Krishna, then our mind, we can, this can be our friends. And about women's participation, Prabhuji, then you rightly said that Prabhupada has started that evolution about involvement of Mataji's women devotees in the Krishna conscious movement. And now in the Mangalore ISKCON also, Namanistha Das Prabhuji has followed Prabhupada, and so we are so much of, we are seeing all our, most of our instructors, teachers are Mataji's Prabhuji.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prafulla Mataji. It's very true. Thank you for your comments. Both of the comments are very important. If we really look at it, Prafulla Mataji is very right. Most of the congregations and the meetings that we have, all the religious participation, you will see that women are more in numbers. It's because they are specially blessed to accept Krishna's superiority immediately. And that's a blessing, really. Men always have been so strong and powerful throughout the world that he insists on he being the chief wherever he is. And that doesn't allow him to immediately accept Lord Krishna's superiority. And that really takes him a little far away from Krishna. So women are very fortunate. They immediately surrender to Lord Krishna very easily, whereas manfolk has to work hard to discipline their mind, to accept Lord Krishna, accept the Supreme, and then to come to a surrender. So that man changes in 3 different steps, whereas women always changes very fast in a single step. If I explain little more, once I was talking to Namanishta Das Prabhuji, and he very well explained that from the beginning, if you look at it, women are accepting husbands and living with them. As the children grow, their elder children, they also accept them with their superiority. So they're accepting superiority of someone else is not new to women. And that's why accepting Krishna as superior is very automatic. And that really takes them into spiritual realm faster. And they become quickly get into it very nicely. Yes, Prafulla Mataji, you are absolutely right. And that's why we see a large number of women in most of the congregations. Thank you, Prafulla Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other addition?
Hare Krishna,
Any-
Prabhuji.
Go ahead,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. I don't know whether I am right. There is one woman Goswami also in our ISKCON, I think so, 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true?
So,
I don't know. I
sorry,
heard just.
come again, Usha Mataji.
Mataji also is called as Goswami. I think one or two Matajis are there in ISKCON also. I heard, but I don't know whether I'm right or wrong.
Why not? I'm sure it must be there. And why not? As both are equal, it's actually an artificial border that has been created by men for themselves. So whatever men can do, women can certainly do it. And so if men are Goswamis, I'm sure women can become Goswami very easy. I'm sure there must be Goswamis, and that should happen. Why not? Thank you, Shamata. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mother. Hare Krishna. Any other question, revelation? Sureka Mataji, would you like to add something? Madhu Soni Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have one realization of controlling mind is till the time mind is not controlled, we are seeing the difference between men and women. Once the mind is controlled, Prabhuji, we are little advanced. Uh, uh, we start seeing everybody is equal, Prabhuji. Like from inside, everybody is part and parcel of Krishna only. So there is no man, women, everybody is same. So this is the beauty of controlling of mind, Prabhuji. So
That's true, Madhu Soni Mataji. You are absolutely right. Until the mind is controlled, when mind is not under control, or the person is accepting the dictates of the mind, usually women are treated as inferior to men. The hard reality or the fact of men and women being equal comes to the mind when the mind is under control. That's when mind has become sober and good enough to understand the reality. So that's true. The mind control has an added advantage that it realizes that men and women are equal. And once that realization comes, then the life is very simple and easy. Once you don't see the difference, then as you know that example, when Vyasadeva was running after Sukadeva Goswami, women who were bathing suddenly started covering themselves up with the clothes when the Vyasadeva came in, though Vyasadeva was not naked. And so Vyasadeva inquired, why are you doing this? You didn't do that when my son ran away in front of me. And they say that his eyes did not distinguish between women and men, whereas your eyes, you being Grahastha, was distinguishing between men and women. Mind you, women have a special ability given by God to find this distinction in the eyes itself. So rather than discussing important thing is women actually have some of the more finer and more beautiful qualities that probably man never has. So that's true. When the mind is under control, the reality that men and women are equal sits on the mind very nicely. Thank you, Madhusoni Mataji. That's a lovely revelation.
thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. If there is nothing else, may all you have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you very much for attending the class. Vansha kalpatarubhishya, radhusya, patita nam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare koti vaishnava ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam, Dhanyavad Prabhu.
Thanks, Prabhuji. Pranam.
Very
Hare
much.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Pranam.